Hello there. You are on to the M2M session podcast. We raise kings to embrace their masculinity and amplify their influence in the society. Welcome. The M2M session podcast is about to begin.
Hello there. Anna Iyang here, your host for M2M session podcast. I am the convener of Judas Pride, and currently, through the month of November, we have been running a 30 days no sex, no alcohol challenge. Now, the 19th of November is International Men's Day, and the theme for this year's International Men's Day is helping men and helping boys. One of the things I really want to know into this podcast episode is that help is actually available. Actually, help is available. There's help everywhere. Even before I started the Boy Child Initiative with Judas Pride, help has always been available for guys. But you see, I've come to realize down the line, 3 years down the line, I've come to realize that not everybody can actually be helped. It's the sad truth. No matter how many persons want to be helped, not everybody can actually be helped. And this limitation is because not everybody can follow through. That's the truth. Not everybody can follow through. And not everybody are willing to pay the price to follow through. Sometimes all it actually takes to get help is some basic requirements. But most persons prefer to be spoon-fed. Hey guy, you are actually a man. You are a man, and I've said this thing before. First of all, it's okay to cry. But you see, you actually can't be spoon-fed. That's the truth. You really can't be spoon-fed. And now I'm saying that because we've entered an era where a lot of initiatives are rising up to empower the boy child. But the truth still remains that if you want to be helped, you need to reach out. You need to identify help. I know ever since I started this podcast, I know the person that have reached out to me to get help on masturbation, on pornography. And I've said it times without number that if you want to get help to break those addictions, it takes you nothing but your ego. Reach out. Send me an email. Send me a DM. It really takes nothing away from you. Why die in silence? Why not accept vulnerability? Why not give yourself to accountability? One of the mistakes that we make as men is that we allow tomorrow meet us the same way that yesterday met us. It's an error. We should be making gradual process. Check out the other gender, check out the females, check out the ladies, check out the girl child. They identify help and they actually go for help. You see a lot of ladies looking out for empowerment. Now we as men, we know that for a while we've been neglected, but come on guys. There are lots of things that we need to uninstall. Like, number one, not not many of us grew up with the right templates of childhood and parenting, because we learn unconsciously and unknown to us. We have already learned parenting from the way that we were raised. So that's exactly what we are going to repeat. But you see, it is not enough to tell yourself, oh, when I become a parent, I will do better. No, it's not enough to say that. Affirmations are not enough to stir the life that you so desire. You need to take deliberate actions. You need learning. You need mentorship. You need guidance. You need counseling. You need exposure. Quick question, do you have a mentor? When last did you speak with your mentor? Do you have somebody who is constantly trying to reshape your ideology about life, about parenting? I know how I grew up as a child. Oh, my parents are wonderful. They did their part. They may not have done sufficiently enough. But you see, every single thing that my parents did, they did it out of love. But while growing up, my childhood misinterpreted those things. Why? Because their level of maturity could not accurately transfer and interpret the love that I needed, because there was a disparity in generation. So it is now that I've grown up when I sit back and I think and I realize, oh, those days that my dad was actually strict and harsh and refusing on things, this is actually what he meant. But you see, while growing up, there were no prepared template for him to have told me, hey son, this thing that I'm doing, this is what it meant. It is now that I'm able to interpret those things. But many of us, see, and I can tell you for a truth, the only reason why I am able to interpret those things, because while growing up and I struggle with hate for my dad, I was able to identify that if I go on with this hate, it will not be good for me. So I had to sit down and I had to heal first of all. I had to forgive myself. Then I had to forgive him. Today, I and my dad, we have a lovely relationship. We may not be 100%, but I can tell you that we are good, man. We are good. So if I wasn't able to identify and to heal and to recover and to forgive and to let go of all the hurts that I had built up as a child, as a boy child, I would have misinterpreted every single thing. I wouldn't have been able to see through the eyes and the lens of love what my dad was trying to do to me. But you see, there are many guys out there who are still stirring up, who are still not seeing that hurt. At the age of 25, 38, some young men are still nursing the hurt for their dad. And you see them going into relationship, you see them going into marriage, repeating the same mistakes. Blood is thicker than water, guys. Blood is thicker than water. If you want to address anything that has to do with blood, you must do it in love. If you want to address anything that has to do with blood, you must do it in love, because some things are generational. Oh, let's call a spade a spade. Some things are actually generational. You've heard my podcast. If you've not, go back and listen to them. I have said here times without number how I would have had a child out of wedlock. Because you see, I sat down and I studied and I knew that, wow, it is in my blood. It is actually in my blood, because I have the tendency to do that. I was able to accurately understand my sexual urges, my sexual drive, and my exposure to the opposite sex. I was more keen to being around ladies. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts that I would have actually gotten a girl pregnant. But you see, because long before I got into that phase, I was able to sit down and study my life, study my family, and I asked myself the question: Dad is destiny. But not just the fact that dad is destiny, mom is also destiny, dad's brother is also destiny, elder brother is also destiny, family is also destiny, because family determines future. You can accurately predict your future if you can look at your family. So we've always been told that if you want to see how a young lady is going to look like when she gets married, look at her mom. So today I'm telling you, if you want to know how a man will look like, look at his dad. Look at his dad. So I was able to sit down and I understood these things. And 3 years ago, I began, not 3 years ago, 5 years ago, I began to actively and consciously work on myself. I wouldn't be talking to you here if I did not understand these things and to start working on myself. I wouldn't. So you see, I dedicate this podcast week after week to help you, to share. And we also have the Real Conversation, a WhatsApp interactive platform where we also talk. So there's really no point going into marriage and repeating the mistakes of your dad when there have been an opportunity where you can plunge in to receive help. Our children, our sons, our young boys, our younger brothers have no reason to grow up experiencing the same thing that we experience. We ought to make life better for them. If you are a first boy, if you are a first male-born child of your family, you have to make it better for your younger ones, especially your younger brothers. You owe it to them, and you also owe your children to become better. So I urge you, I charge you, I encourage you, and I challenge you. Reach out for help. Reach out for help. Help is available. We would be partnering with a lot of NGOs to create help for the boy child. There are series of help. One of those days I woke up and I was crying. I was like, Lord, help, man. Help us. Help us. You see, a young guy, he would rape a lady. And you will hear things like, he doesn't know what came over him. Hey, shut up. Shut up. Tell me you don't know what came over you when the urges started. But don't tell me you don't know what came over you after you penetrated her vagina. Because you knew actually what came over you. And you allowed it to come over you. You did not stop it. And you refuse to gain control. And you refuse to learn how to control your sexual urges. I know exactly what goes through the mind of young men. I know exactly what goes through your mind whenever you feel like having sex with somebody when she doesn't even give you consent. I even know what it feels like and how it feels like to have the rush of sexual urges flowing through your body. And you just can't think of anything just but to release. Just but to release. Some of you have given into pornography. Some of you have given into masturbation. Some of you have given into rape. Some of you have given into that sexual urge and you've called the young girl and you've had sex with her. Some of you have made mistakes that you're not proud of. Some of you, I can clearly tell you, and I know what goes through your mind when a lady disregards you, disobeys you, disrespects you, makes mockery of you. When she tries to play down on your manhood and your integrity and your ego. And all you feel like doing is to land her a dirty, hard, resounding slap just to reset her brain, so that next time, in case she tries to do it again, she will remember how hot it was. But do you know that even if you hit her 20 times, your goal, remember, one of your goal of hitting her the first time, the next time, is so that she will not try it again. But have you not noticed, even up until the umpteenth time, she will still try it again and you will still hit her? Have you not come to terms to realize with yourself that hitting a woman is not the way out? We've all been told that hitting a woman is wrong, but have you not? But I'm actually breaking it down for you right here, guys. Stop domestic violence, but beyond that, hitting a lady solves nothing. It solves nothing. Why not walk out and take a chill pill? Ladies will always be ladies. Their strength is their mouth, so realize that now. Their strength is their mouth. Your strength is your hand. Yes, your strength is your power as a man. But guess what? When we both enter the battlefield, we are both disadvantaged. She would win us with our mouth, and we will win her with our hands, with our fists. So if you want to fight, pick on someone your own size. Pick on someone that can exchange the blows with you. Then you would ask yourself if you truly want to fight. I'm not encouraging violence here. Because you see, even with the issue of violence, we have been raised to think and to believe that violence is the only way to show that you are a man. Hey, who told you that? We've been taught and we've been sold a lie. We have been sold a lie. Violence is not the way to express and to exhibit your manliness. You are a man whether you're violent or not. Violence is an extreme part of your emotion. Violence is an extreme part of your emotion. We take risks so much. And have you not noticed that because of our level of exposure to violence and to risk, our level of life dependency is cut short? Check the statistics and check the death rates. How in the global population, more men are dying than women. Let's walk a little bit down into the prison yards and let's do a statistics between the male inmate and the female inmate. Which of them has the largest population? I bet you it is not the females, it is the men. We've been sold a lie, a big, huge lie. And it's time to stop believing that lie. It's time to stop believing that lie. So I'm going to do something right now, yeah? If you want to be helped, help is going to be available to you. We would be partnering with a lot of NGOs to reach out to men and to reach out to boys. But the question now is, do you want to be helped? No, really, do you want to be helped? I had been struggling with a lot of things secretly and privately. So when I started the real conversation, my first, initially I didn't even start the real conversation. I didn't even go into boy child advocacy for anybody. I went into boy child advocacy for myself because I looked around. There was nobody helping the boy child. So I said, okay, no problem. Why don't I start something that will help me? That's the truth. The real conversation today that has benefited a lot of people for the last 3 years, I started it for myself. I went there because I know, guys, you guys don't like talking. I went there and I gathered young men like myself and older people. And I started asking personal questions. Yes. Some of the majority of the questions asked were about myself. In the last 1.5 years, while I was still running the real conversation alone, until one of my covenant brother Francis joined in, every single question I asked was about myself. When I wanted to move out of my parents' house, I didn't know how to do it. I asked the question then. When I wanted help to heal with the hurts with my dad, I asked the question then. And some of these guys didn't know that they were actually feeding me with answers I needed. But guess what? Do you know that one of the things I didn't even realize was that in the process of finding help for myself, I was also helping others, because people were silently getting help. Yes. So, but right now, I have just two questions for you. Number one, and this is in preparation and anticipation of International Men's Day, which comes up next week, Saturday. Do you want help? If yes, what do you need help for? Now, if you've answered those two questions, the next question is going to determine if you actually want help. If you're willing to pay the price, because it's always a price to pay. If you're willing to pay the price, and this price is really the price of commitment, the price of following through, the price of being accountable. If you're willing to pay this price to get help, then send me an email or send me a message directly to my inbox. Introduce yourself. Share your name with me. Don't be ashamed of anything. Share your name with me and let me know what you want help with. You can reach me on my Nigerian line on +234 81 481 58966. I'll take that again. That's my Nigerian line. You can reach me on it. You can send an SMS. +234. Probably do not call. I just in case you try calling and I don't answer your call, just send a message and I'll respond. You can also send me a message on WhatsApp. +234 81 481 58966, or send me an email on anaiyang01@gmail.com. ANAINYANG number 0 and number 1 @gmail.com. Help has come. It's time to stop screaming silently. Your masculinity depends on it. So I look forward to hearing from you. Till I come your way again, I remain your host, AI. Cheers.